Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to look more into sets, particularly the universal set, Venn diagrams, all these symbols that come with sets like intersection, union, complement, and these are things, again, I would have said before, you would have met at some point in time, right? And we're just going through it again. We're going through the CXC past paper questions. Remember, it's multiple choice only for sets, so we will be going through those as well. So let's start right away. The universal set. So you would have met the universal set before. It is denoted by a U, right? So kind of like that. Well, it's a capital U, right? It is a set from which all members or elements are taken. So, for example, we have this universal set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a universal set. That's our main set. The two sets below, set A and set B, they will now come from that main set, the universal set. So A is the set of factors of 4. So the factors of 4, which what I have written here already, is 1, 2, and 4. And then set B are the factors of 10, which are 1, 2, 5, and 10. And if you notice, all these factors for set A and set B are part of our main set, the universal set. So the universal set has all the elements which you can, and as you would hear me saying, we call this the main set. Elements or members of set A and set B are taken from the universal set. So now we're going to look at more symbols used in sets. And again, I would have said before, these are symbols you would have met at some point before. Some of you all may remember the symbols from before, some of you all may not. It's not a problem either way. So again, we're using the same example from before. We have our main set, the universal set. We have set A and we have set B. Set A is the factors of 4, set B is the factors of 10. So now we're going to look at intersection firstly. So now, intersection, so this symbol, this here, A intersect B. This symbol means intersect. So A intersect B. Now, what that really means is intersection means what the both sets have in common, right? So intersection. When you think about it in simple terms, another visual I could use is that think about like a 4-road intersection. So say you have a 4-road intersection, right? All 4 roads, they all meet, this is the intersection here, they all meet at a common point. So intersection means what these sets have in common. And in set A and set B, they clearly have numbers 1 and 2 in common, right? So A intersect B is set 1, and you write it like that with the curly brackets. Now we're looking at A union B. So union is a U, but without the kind, we don't write it like a U with the tail. You just write it like that, right? So A union B. For union, think about what these two sets coming together, right? So everything in the two sets, right? So everything in set A and set B, 1, 2, 4, 5, and 10. Please notice that we do not repeat numbers. So how we have 1 in set A and then 1 in set B, we don't write 1, 1. We don't write this 1, 1, right? Sorry about the construction and the back noise. So yes, we just write A union B. So in set A and set B, we have 1. Set A and set B, we have 2. We have 4 in set A, then we have 5 in set B, and then 10 in set B, right? Again, sorry for the background noise, some construction going on in the background there. All right, and now we're going to look at another, 2 other symbols that we have. We look at this one here. A, and we have a little dash at the top. That means a complement. A complement. In simpler terms, it means everything that is not in set A, right? Now let's look back at what set A was. Set A was with the factors of 4, 1, 2, and 4. So then a complement are all the numbers that are not in set A, which would be 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, right? Because set A was 1, 2, and 4. So A, call those other numbers that are not in set A. Likewise for set B. If we look back at set B was 1, 2, 5, and 10. So then for B complement will be all the numbers that are not in set B, which are 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Right? So A complement, B complement, or just generally the complement of a set are the numbers that are not in the set. So let's look at 2 more or 3 more here. So here we have this. So what does this mean? Right? If we look at the brackets, in the brackets we have A union B. Right? So this can be read as A union B, or the complement of A union B, because the complement is on the outside, right? So again, this can be read as the complement of A union B, right? So A or A union B complement. First thing you need to know, that remember, complement is what is not in the set. Let's rewrite what is A union B. Set A union B, I'm taking it from above. Set A union B was 1, 2, 4, 5, and 10. So let's just rewrite that. So 1, 2, 4, 5, and 10. We know that the universal set was numbers 1 to 10. So therefore, A union B complement will be all the members that are not in A union B, which will be what? 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Right? And then similarly, for this one here, we have the complement of A intersect B. Remember, A intersect B was 1, 2. So therefore, the complement of that, or the elements or the members that are not in A intersect B, would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. Right? It will take a little getting accustomed to like when all these symbols join, but you will get it, you will understand it when you do the questions and so on. Let's look at this other example here, or questions for us to try. Number 1, we have set X, which is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have set Y, which is 15, 20, 25, and set Z, which is 15, 20, 15, 30, 45, 60. We want to know remember what this means? Intersect. We want to know what X intersect Y intersect Z. What is that? What does that set entail? Now, intersection, remember, is what the sets have in common. So we want to know what all 3 sets have in common. If you look carefully, they all have 15 in common. So that will be equal to that, 15, right? Number 2, if the universal set, this is the main set now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and H is 3, 4, and 6. We want to know what H complement is, right? So that would be all the members that are not in set H, which would be 1, 2, and 5. So H complement, set H complement would be set of 1, 2, and 5, right? So again, you just need to remember the symbols. So I'll just go over them here. This one, union. What the sets have in common, right? Union. This one, upside down, we can use intersect or intersection, right? What these sets have in common. And then if we have A complement, right? Says A complement or B complement or anything like that is what it does not belong to that set, right? So just keep on reviewing it. It's not hard. In our next video, we're going to look at more Venn diagrams and then move forward from there and eventually get to the C-set multiple choice questions.